What's up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. You have the one, the only Dead Press Picks, all dressed up, looking nice, about to head to the Kentucky Derby this weekend. And myself, AC. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on. We do this every Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We're probably going to change that schedule soon. Give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Seven Stack Sports. They're about to do an amazing odds boost tomorrow. Dead and I, we were talking to him right before this, but there's 2 NBA playoff games tomorrow night, Friday, and they're basically at +1, -1. I think we're gonna try to boost all 4 teams tomorrow, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Give them a follow, get set up. One of the best, if not the best, book on Twitter. Same day payouts if you're using cryptocurrency. All right, Dead, how are you, man? Are you looking forward to Kentucky?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, it should be a good time. Got some of my bets placed today. Wrote up some stuff, so it should be fun getting to that. But yeah, excited to get into tonight's slate as well. Maybe talk some NBA for tomorrow. So early game AC. We had a lot of questions about this Angels Sox game. Everyone loves to bet early baseball. Why wouldn't you? You know, nothing else to do early in the day. So I think we were kind of aligned here. I'm going Sox money line. The price has dropped a little bit because no Mike Trout. So Trout is out today. If you guys didn't know that, for the Angels, it is Ohtani and Rich Hill. Not usually excited to back Rich Hill, AC, but Ohtani has struggled a little bit, especially away from home. And I think it's a hitter-friendly park. I think they get to Ohtani today. So I like the Sox here.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox as well. I got them at +110. You're right. It's getting a little shorter. It's getting to like +100 area now. Boston at 10-15 has a record of 10-15, has been somewhat disappointing to start the year. And Ohtani, I feel like he's still hurt. So it's really surprising that he's pitching today. Not saying he's going to have a bad game, but I do like the Red Sox to kind of bounce back from yesterday's loss and take care of business today. So we are in alignment for sure.
All right, let's get into the NHL slate, AC, if we could real quick. I don't know how you broke it down last night. I had a little mini sweep there with the Wild and Oilers. So I'm excited to get back into it tonight. A lot of people are asking about this Panthers-Caps game because of that first game. Caps obviously stole one there in Florida.
I think we lost connection there from Dad, but he's getting into the Capitals Florida game. Capitals won game 1, very surprisingly. I think Dad and I were both on the Caps in that game, 4-2 Caps. So that was a nice win for them in game 1. Not that I like Florida in this game. I like the over in this game. It's sitting at 6.5. I think we're going to see a lot of goals tonight because we know Washington can score, and this is a big bounce back opportunity for the Panthers to come back. So give me the over 6.5 in this game. We'll see what Dad likes once he gets back in the stream. But looking on to the other games, we had Pittsburgh and the Rangers. The Rangers, you guys know how I feel about them. I think they're just a really, really good team. Coming off that game 1, where they lost 3-4 against the Penguins, I think this is a bounce back spot. The Rangers have been elite at home all season long, and I think they get it done today. So I do like the Rangers money line -145. It opened up at -125, so it's moved quite a bit, but I still think it's safe to do the Rangers. Moving on to game 3, Nashville, Colorado. Colorado absolutely dominated this matchup in game 1, and I think we see the same. I think they're the best team. In my opinion, it's their Stanley Cups to lose. I'm just gonna ride Colorado, right? Like I feel like Colorado is one of those teams where it's a disappointment if they don't win the Stanley Cup. Hey, Dad, welcome back, man.
Yeah, I think the books are trying to kick me off. They heard me start talking about that Panthers game. I lost connection. I don't know if you hit on that, but I love Florida tonight. In this spot on the puck line there at 1.5. I think they're a really good parlay piece as well. I'd just be shocked if they go down 2-0. I know it's a little cliche to say there, right? But losing 2 on the home ice, especially a team as talented, like you said, we had the Caps in that first
Super
game.
dominant, yeah.
Yeah, I'd just be shocked if they went down to it. But they're obviously pretty heavily priced. Although the puck line you can find at plus 100, which I think is pretty fair.
Yeah, I was saying I'm not on the Panthers this game. I'm not on the Capitals either. I think I like the over in this one. I think the Panthers are going to get 4 or 5 goals by themselves, and we know the Caps can score too. So I like the over 6.5 in that particular game.
All right, I love it. If you wanted to get to the other games on the ice tonight, it's a lot of juiced favorites. I think Colorado is going to take care of business fairly easily. I just don't see that series being all that competitive. Maybe Nashville gets one at home. So I think again, talk about a parlay piece, but even the puck line, it's juice. So like, I don't want to lay juice on -1.5, despite them kind of just steamrolling. Interesting game though, your Stars and Flames, because that first game. I mean, it was 1-0. Like that was an
Yeah.
old fashioned, nobody scoring type of game. You think the Stars have any chance to steal one in Calgary tonight? Because if you talk about the heavy favorites, this is outside of that Rangers game, which we'll get into, the second smallest favorite on the board. I kind of like the Stars on the puck line tonight.
Yeah, Stars Canes under was my max play 2 nights ago. The Stars offense is really bad. I'm actually really surprised they've made the playoffs. There's no creativity, no dynamic players on offense. I love Jason Robertson, but he's still really young. They only had 16 shots, dude, in game one. 16 shots in a playoff game. That is,
That's bad.
yeah, that's really bad. Most teams get 16 shots in like a period and a half, right? So the fact that they had it for the entire game just shows that they didn't even handle the puck well. They didn't even get into the offensive zone. They threw no pucks in the front of the net. I don't know. I like the under again in this game. Yeah, you're right. Maybe the Stars are a live dog tonight, but until I see them scoring like 2, 3, 4 goals, I just don't think they have a shot.
The game a lot of people want to get to is that Rangers Penguins game in the chat. Rangers kind of in a similar position to that Florida narrative, Edmonton's narrative last night, right? You lose that first game on home ice. I don't know if you watched that one, but
It's
three over
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
unbelievable game. So I mean, that's a demoralizing loss to come off, especially at home. But this is a must win, right? You cannot go back to Pittsburgh down 2-0. I think New York bounces back. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is my favorite spot in hockey tonight. I think the Rangers bounce back in like a big way. I think puck line. I think they win by more than 2 goals actually. So if you want to do alternate puck line -2.5, I think that's safe too. The Rangers. I've loved this team all season long. They have a really elite power play attack, and I think that they're going to get to Pittsburgh. That game was tough, man. I mean, both teams had like 700 shots. 1-3 overtimes, and at that point it's really just like who has the stamina, right? It's not
Right.
really who's better at that point. So I think the Rangers need to get out and get up early so that they don't even think about overtime. So
I
give
like
me
it.
the Rangers tonight. I think they bounce back.
And they had that 2-0 lead, right? So they got to kind of take care of business once they do build a lead. All right, NBA time, AC. We've been killing the NBA playoffs. A lot of people want to know that Bucks Celtics game. Weird scheduling, by the way. No game tonight, obviously.
Mhm.
So these some teams get like that extra rest. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of bizarre how the schedule was laid out. But Bucks Celtics returning to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee becomes a 3-point favorite. It's always interesting, in my opinion, to kind of watch the lines from when a team's a dog. Like the Sixers, they've been +8.5, +9. Now they were -1 last night. Now it's flipped to Miami -1.
Mhm.
Obviously, Joel Embiid's back, but we'll use the Mavs for example, right? They have been minus or +6 both games, and now they're +1 at home. So a 5-point swing. Obviously, it's a big swing. Bucks in a similar spot here. I don't know. I think the Bucks here at -3. So I told you before the series, I
So
thought,
are we going through all 4 games? Because tomorrow is actually our series. It's the Mavs and the Sixers.
yeah. So we'll do.
Yeah.
Well, someone asked about this game. Yeah, that's what I mean. The
Uh,
scheduling changes so
It's
weird.
weird. Yeah, it's so weird. Boston, Bucks,
Why did they get
Milwaukee.
the extra? I don't
They
know.
have 3 days rest for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of need it too, right? Because like they're the more banged up. Well, the Sixers could use it with Embiid, but anyway, just want to see what do you like early in that one? Because I kind of think, even though I said the Buck series, like with the dog price here, this might be one of the best prices you're getting on Boston. and they looked really impressive in game two.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Saturday afternoon game, so the body clocks are gonna be all off and stuff. So it's hard in that respect, but I don't know, man. I like the Celtics. I think the Celtics actually had a shot in game one too. Giannis just had an unbelievable like high triple double, and they weren't missing. Celtics missed every single shot, only shot 33% in game one. Game two, they dominated. Better team in my opinion is Boston. The best player is Giannis, so he's always going to give his team a shot. But I think Boston figured something out with Grant Williams and Giannis in game two. So give me Boston in game three. I like that. And unfortunately, I'm going to say War.
Did I lose you for a sec, AC?
Hey, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Sorry, I was like,
yeah, I like
unfortunately-
Boston. Yeah, I like Boston.
Yeah, well, getting to that game, and also Celtics have done a great job on Giannis. Even game one, he didn't shoot the ball very well, right? Like he had kind of an off game from the scoring perspective, despite him still putting up great numbers. As you mentioned, he might be the best player in the world at the moment, so he's always going to get his. All right, but let's shift to that game that's going to happen tomorrow, right? We have both of our teams playing. Let's start with the Mavs Warriors. I heard you kind of before you cut out there, you said you liked the Warriors. I'm going to be on your boys, the Mavs Suns. Sorry, I'm like
your brain's already in Kentucky, man. It's already at the Derby.
I'm already at the Derby. Yeah, the Warriors game obviously will happen the following day. But let's get to that Mavs Suns game because last night I was on the Suns there at -6. They really just went crazy in the fourth. Like it was,
it was just Chris Paul.
He just literally a takeover. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the funny thing was in that game, like it looked like it was going to be one of those spreads that comes down to the last minute or two.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just went on an insane run. But I do like the Mavs to bounce back at home. I think that they
I do want to give props to Chris Paul and Monty Williams and the Suns. Not many teams, for whatever reason, hunt Luka Doncic. But in that fourth quarter, no matter where Jason Kidd tried to hide Luka, he was on Biyombo for a minute. He was on Cam Johnson for a minute. It didn't matter. Chris Paul was like, that guy, come to me and set the pick. And that was awesome to see because Luka's not a very good defender. And you want to make him work, right, on defense because he's so good offensively. But this game has, a Dallas bounce back written all over it. Maybe the series goes 5, but this is the game that the Mavericks will win, in my opinion. The other series, man, I want to pick the Sixers again, but I don't know. You tell me. Tell me, am I wrong or off? Because I feel like the Sixers are just as talented.
So this is a statistic that I followed pretty closely. Like I don't even know if you call this advanced stats, right? But it's shot quality. So you see the expected probability of winning, right? Based on the quality of shots you create. Philly's shot quality expectancy to win last night was 90% to 10. Like it wasn't even close. The thing is they're just missing uncontested shots. If you watch that game last night, Danny Green has been brutal.
He was like 1 for 40 last night?
Yeah, and George Niang's been killing them from 3. I mean, they just haven't found a rhythm, and they're just uncontested threes that typically are going to go down. I think with Embiid coming back, and he's basically confirmed for game 3, right? Like it's not official, but it's pretty much official that he's in. I think they'll definitely get this game in Philly in game 3. I think the Mavs win. I think the Sixers win. Game 4 it will be tougher, right? Because there's kind of that letdown narrative, right? With Miami, they just won 2. Philly's going to play a little more desperate. But I still think they can turn this series around. I mean, a series is never over, right, until you don't hold serve on your home court. So they're going to have a legitimate chance. I mean, Miami kind of took care of business without – it would have been really bad if Miami lost 2 home games without the scoring champion. And I'm happy people can finally see how, without Embiid, the Sixers are a play-in team. That's what they are, maybe. Like, they are not as good because there was always that you take Jokic off the Nuggets. I agree. Both of the teams would kind of suck if you took them off. So I'm not arguing, Jokic's greatness either. But it would always bother me when people would say, oh, well, Embiid is so much help. Well, this is Embiid's help at the moment. So offensively, they created shots. They created good looks all game, and they're shots that typically will go down for professional players who get paid millions of dollars to shoot threes. So I'm not worried about it yet. I think if they can take care of business, and I think they will, and I think the line's pretty indicative of that, and it's already flipped because I think the public's going to hammer Miami at that price.
Yeah, I think both of these games we're going with a contrarian play, right? And they're small home dogs. We've seen this many, many times so far in these playoffs where the small home dog doesn't come through. But I'm with you, man. I'm confident in both teams. I was on Philly last night too. I was on Philly and I went over 2 last night. I was on Philly and Dallas.
It was another
Um,
square night. Well, I hit a 1-1 because the Suns came through, but Philly let me down too, so we're in the same boat.
yeah, I mean, scoring. I think they had what, like 103. I think if they just played a little better defense, they would have covered that number. Because I don't think Miami has like an elite offensive attack by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Mavericks, on the other hand, they're just playing it completely wrong. They need to keep these games in the 90s or low 100s. If you're gonna let the Suns score 130, you're gonna get swept. So I think that's just a tempo. That's just a mindset. They need to grind it out. They need to shoot late in the shot clock. Um, but I like both teams at home. I think the energy of the crowd will be very helpful for the, supporting players. So we're talking about like Maxi Kleber or Danny Green. Those type of guys are going to shoot a lot better at home. And I think if Doc just decides to play Danny Green less, play DeAndre Jordan less, I think that by organic effect, they're just going to be better.
Yeah, well, Doc's stubborn, and he's cost the Sixers a lot of games over his short stint here. But all right, well, there's the NBA games that we wanted to get to. Also, someone in the chat just commented the Mavs are now favored, so that line did flip in favor of Dallas. Philly, though, has become a 1.5-point dog after opening as a 1-point favorite. So just some slight adjustments there. Well, you say we're getting to that point of the show where it's almost time for the best bets. We have been crushing the best bets, obviously.
Yeah.
We're going to try and continue that. Real quick, though, I just want to give a shout-out, AC, to 7 Stack Sports because
The GOAT.
-1 lines continue to come up daily, and people continue to ask where I find them. Well, it's right there at 7 Stack Sports. On the screen, you get the -1 line. You don't have to sweat the run line. If Kenley Jansen comes in as your closer and blows a 4-run lead and they still win by 1, you still walk away with your money. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Also, same-day payouts, cryptocurrency, 24/7 customer service. Now they're serving to thousands, AC, and their following's just getting bigger by the day, right? It just keeps growing. So we love to see them being rewarded. They're up to 10.7 thousand followers. It's a lot for a sports book on Twitter, so give them some love as well. But let's get to our best bet segment, AC. We'll give you guys our 2 best bets of the night across all sports. What are you looking at?
Yeah, so we already gave out the Boston Red Sox. We like them today. It's a great value play at, small, short dog at home, Rich Hill on the mound against a hobbled Ohtani, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay being favored on the road against Robbie Ray in Seattle is a big tell to me. They're -125, -130, depending on the book that you're looking at. So give me the Rays tonight. It's a 8:40 first pitch.
All right, I'm going to go to the Panthers on the puck line, -1.5 at +100. I think it's a beat down in the Sunshine State tonight. I think they take advantage of that first game against the Capitals, kind of that letdown spot first time around. I did this with the Oilers personally last night, and I felt bad that I didn't give it out. So I took the Oilers to win by 5 or more. It was a huge payout. I'm going to do the same thing for the Panthers tonight. I think if they get up early, like a 2-0, 3-0 lead, it can kind of be one of those things where the Caps just mail it in as the game goes on, and we can get a little bit of a beatdown. So let's get the Panthers there on the puck line at -1.5. It's +100.
As long as they score 7 goals by themselves, I'm good.
Then that's fine, right?
Yeah, that's good.
That should be good enough. We got someone in the chat here named Dom. He said that he guarantees the Angels will beat the Red Sox.
Jeez.
So that we got Dom rooting against us. Good luck, Dom. At least one of us wins.
Yeah, at
but
least
he's
one of us wins. DM us your ticket and let us know.
yeah, he said he's ready to go. So, all right. I mean, hey, they're a good team, right? The Angels. It's hard to fade Otani, but I'm going to do it today. So, best of luck, everyone. We will be back with another episode at some point this week. We'll let you guys know the schedule as it comes on. And again, give a follow to Seven Stack Sports. We will see you all. Have a great Thursday night, and let's make some money.